hold a strong opinion on reaction content, and here it is. My opinion of reaction content as a small content creator trying to make a name for himself. After years of waiting to make content, I finally decided it was time to give it a shot. Moving to Japan, I find myself in the predicament of needing money and having lots of time after school. Using the ideas that I've made up in my head after years and years of wanting to use them, I believe now that it is a good time for me to start. Now, if I can start anywhere, it's going to be here. I want to start small and expand as I go. As somebody who stayed in the deepest, the grimiest, and most diabolical parts of YouTube, I found myself stumbling across Dark Viper AU. Except, we're about 4 years in the past, and he's just starting the pacifist percent run. I originally put 2 years until I checked and realized, damn, it's been about 4 years since you've done that, so I guess I'm getting old. Now, before I continue, let me make a little warning. This isn't a rant about anybody. I respect all of the people in this video's content, and they all have their good parts and they all have their bad parts. So I just want to put that out there that this is just my opinion, and it's my opinion on a topic that is very controversial for everybody. So I'm going to put that out there. This video is a direct response to XQC calling out Dark Viper AU out for a debate. Well, he called a lot of people. He called anybody out that is willing to make a debate about this subject. And we all know that if that debate ends up happening, it'll go nowhere, since XQC is not known to be the easiest to debate with. But anyways, I'm going to start by explaining what reaction content is. If you don't know what reaction content is, my real question is, what have you been doing? I'm actually genuinely concerned for you, because this has been a big thing in YouTube since, I want to say, 2014. So let's get into it. Reaction content is simply content where one person, usually one with a webcam to show off their cute face, reacts to another content creator's content without their permission. Sometimes they have their permission, but for the most part, it starts with not giving permission. Not that permission matters, because an extra $5,000 in my pocket is going to make me a lot more happy than somebody bitching to me about it. So why would you react to other people's contents? Well, simply put, money. Why play a game on stream where you have to actively entertain people and create content using your personality, when you could steal someone's content that took them days, if not weeks, to create? If somebody wanted to make a few $1,000s a month, what's stopping them from turning on their webcam, opening OBS, and watching others' content? The answer is really nothing. Be it the fault of YouTube or Twitch, it happens. And it happens with the biggest content creators watching content from smaller creators in order to fill in gaps of unoriginality in streams. Why stream for 4 hours of original content when you can stream for 8 hours and have half of that be reaction content? Now, I don't usually hear about smaller creators talking about this, so I wanted to give my opinions and stress how I feel on the situation as a content creator that is just starting off. But as I continue to write up new ideas and spend more time editing, I find myself thinking, what would I do if somebody stole my video, slapped their mug on it, and not only live streamed themselves watching it, but also uploaded it to their YouTube channel? Being a small content creator, I have zero clue on what to do if that happens. There's no guidebook. Nobody tells you, hey, if somebody watches your content and you say no, yes, you can DM them, but the chances of them answering are very slim. You'd have to DMCA them, which we'll get into. Now that we have an idea of reaction content and why it exists, it's time to have a look over my favorite porn app, Twitter, or X. I don't know anymore. Currently, as of July 31st, 2023, we are at this point. On July 26th, Texane HD posted a screenshot of the reaction videos XQC's editor has posted, as well as Hassan's communist minions. Obviously, Dark retweeted this as it's very relevant to his content. A few tweets about being a totally real voice actor for GTA 6 later, and we arrive at the next set of tweets. Popular YouTuber The Act Man replies to Above Films tweet stating, "Let me know. another very popular content creator that uploads very rarely because his content is very dense. The tweet states, Lemino spends months researching, scripting, and editing a video just for React streamers to re-upload the entire thing and provide zero input. A completely fair claim, since Lemino, for the most part, takes months, if not a whole year, to release content, with everything for the most part being done by himself. The Actman responds with, I'm all in favor of reaction-based content, but if you're going to upload it to YouTube, then for God's sakes, cut out the parts where you're eating, contributing nothing, or going to the bathroom. It really ain't that hard to make a half-decent reaction video. End quote. In my opinion, this isn't true. A half-decent reaction video does not exist. Now, if you're going to use small clips of another content creators to formulate a completely original video, then yes, it would be hard. How do I make this entertaining? How can I edit this to keep attention? How do I attract viewers? All questions people making real content struggle with. Yes, I'm making this script right now, but how will I keep people watching? I'm too cheap to buy a webcam, and I don't really have the money since I'm a student. But I do have other resources I can work with. I have to use my brain. Reaction content doesn't do that. Yes, adding an extra hour to content does make it so you need to come up with things, but at the same time, that extra hour is only an extra hour because you're pausing the video. You're still watching the video in its fullness, just breaking it down to give the illusion of real content. The Actman followed up with the tweet stating, I have my reasons. One of them is that I'm happy that the people watch my content and share it with their audience. I make enough money as is, so for me personally, I don't care too much about it. Just want people to watch and enjoy my work. I'm going to go off script real quick. I'm not reading from a script, but it kind of goes in with what I've been saying, that money is the main motivation. The Actman would not be saying that if he was not making a lot of money. If he was a small content creator, he would be having way more problems with this, because as a small content creator, these big multi-million-dollar streamers taking your, whether it be $100 or $500 or a few $1,000s, them taking that from you is pretty much stealing from you. It is quite literally stealing from you. They are using your content, which is for a lot of people work, and they are using it to profit and gain money, which is the problem. Dark Viper AU then replied, talking about how they're simply abusing the algorithmic tendencies to make a greater portion of the finite amount of exposure. He goes into this really detailed in one of his videos that I will link. I will link all of my stuff in the description and in the comments. The first comment will be the entirety of Dark Viper's series on this, and on screen will be the full tweet for context. It ends with the Actman stating that in many aspects, Dark Viper is not wrong. XQC then makes a very intelligent tweet stating, I wonder what triggers people like you. This is referring to Dark Viper AU. Revenue share? Audience split? Algorithm? I've heard this complaint a million times, and most public figures try to attack it from multiple angles just to fall flat on their face. I'm watching a video I like to my people. That's it. Very wise words from XQC if they haven't been refuted in Dark's previous videos. Dark makes a twit longer where I'll abridge it and say what I want to say on it because it's a bit long. In light of recent Twitter discourse, React content has only one purpose: to increase the time people spend watching reactors and reduce the time they spend doing anything else. Reactors do not create exposure, they merely redirect exposure that naturally exists away from others to themselves. Recommendations that would go to others and instead used to promote React content as it floods the market. The benefits from a reaction to your video are extremely tiny and are often negative long term, as your videos now competes with a copy that exists entirely to use your brand and work to advertise the Reactors channel. Now, I'm going to cut it there. I want to give my honest reaction to this. I don't want to make anybody angry, and I kind of don't want to go any more into this drama. So I'm going to end the drama that is currently going on with Dark and XQC and all of those Reactor. And I want to give my honest opinion on this small snippet of what Dark Viper AU said. I'm going to post the full screenshot, but this is just the top of it. And this kind of works because I can look at it as a small content creator and look at it from my perspective. In this current small little area, I believe that Dark is 100% in the right with this small quote. The entire point of being a React content creator is the fact that you are not subjected to one type of video for very long. All you need is two things. One, be really dumb, so even though you're getting thousands of subs and tens of thousands of viewers, most of them are just making fun of you. Though who cares? You're making a lot of money. That, or you can go down my favorite road, which is throwing shit out of your mouth for a brain dead community that will follow what you would do no matter how down low it is. The more videos you can produce, the more money you'll make, and the bigger your audience grows. The more these two things happen, the more time you can spend on doing these two things. I didn't write something in between this, so to explain what I mean by that is the more money you have, I mean, obviously, the more money you have, you don't need a job. You don't need a real job where you have to consistently leave and not stream or not make content or not make up ideas. You can consistently just sit there and make content. Having money does that, whether or not you want to sugarcoat it or not. That is what money does. The second is having a bigger audience. The bigger your audience, the less likely they are going to go watch other people. Why would I want to watch Jimmy, who has 50,000 subscribers and he makes one video a month, and sometimes that one video isn't very good, even though he puts a lot of time and work, when I can watch big streamer number 300 who has 5 million subscribers and uploads daily amounts, like I'm talking 2 or 3 videos a day of React content that took people a few months to make. Obviously, for the majority of brainlets who can't really think for themselves, they're going to gravitate towards the guy making more content. If you look at it from this guy is just stealing people's content, then you're going to see, oh, why would I watch this guy when it's not even him that I'm watching? I'm watching another content creator while this guy sits in the corner. The only reason I'm watching this guy is because I can consistently get videos out of him. Most people would put their money back into their content. Most people who make a ton of money, let's say you give a shit ton of money to somebody, they're going to put it back into their content. They're going to hire better and more editors, or they're going to buy better equipment. If you watch any of these streamers, they'll sit in their $1 million houses with their $5,000 setup, $5,000 plus setup, where they'll spend half of their time watching YouTube or eating food in front of it. This isn't a critique because they're rich or famous. It's to show you where their money is being spent. XQC has editors. These editors edit his streams in clips or take hour-long parts of him watching others' content. During the making of this script, I got into an argument with Twitter's smartest retard, who stated that since only 20% of XQC's content is React and only 10% of said 20% is reaction content, then he must have grown using his personality and talent, right? No, that's not how numbers work. XQC started his career playing Overwatch and almost exclusively Overwatch for 2 or more years. If you go look back on his channel, you'll see a ton of highlights of Overwatch. Around 4 years ago, I would say, you can find one of his first reaction videos on YouTube that is not a reaction to an Overwatch update. And if you look at his channel now, dear Lord, please show the clips. This doesn't look like 10% to me. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm the one who's the idiot. But I think it makes sense that spending the first few years of your channel being primarily an Overwatch streamer would heavily sway the numbers in this screenshot on screen right now. Okay, because you can see he has a shit ton of hours on Overwatch, but a lot of those hours, well, yes, because he was primarily an Overwatch streamer. He no longer plays Overwatch. The website provided himself even states he hasn't played Overwatch for over a year. And with the amazing game that Overwatch 2 is, I'm sure he'll surpass his reaction content with that game, right? Anyways, getting back into the quote, I am also very much in agreement with the benefits from the reaction-based content part. As a small creator, if one of these big channels watches my content all the way to the end and I don't have enough content to fulfill the amount of demand for my content, People will lose interest and fall back into watching the React streamer's content only, essentially forgetting about me until someone else reacts to my content, or by the small chance that they actually subscribed, even with my lack of steady releases, which is something big React streamers can give. Again, to the point that even if the video I made receives more views thanks to a React streamer, this does not mean my content will grow. For the most part, these content creators carry the same amount of views and will only spike when a React content creator reacts to their video. Yes, if you're constantly getting reacted to and are consistently having your channel forced down the throats of Mr. Big Reactor's chat, you might gain some subs and views. In most likely cases though, once a big reactor stops reacting to your videos, you'll lose said views. It's why I believe in a steady course of growth versus constant ups and downs. As a small content creator, I would much rather people like me for my content and personality than somebody who was told by a bigger content creator because they're helping me, when in reality this person doesn't care about my content. Trust me, I've been there. I've watched React content before and thought to myself, wow, I'm gonna sub to this person, just to realize he doesn't upload as frequently as I thought he would, or maybe his content doesn't hit the same as the video I'd first watched or had been reacted to. From that point, I unsubscribed knowing his channel will fall apart once more people realize the exact same thing I thought. If you can only swim without a life vest and then you're thrown into the ocean, chances are you'll eventually drown. The final part of the TwitLonger talks about how your video now competes with multiple different versions of it, because for the most part, you won't be paid for these reactions, and for many small content creators, it is extremely hard for somebody, and sometimes extremely terrifying for somebody, to copyright strike somebody's content when they have a million unhinged fans that blindly follow them. For this reason, I believe that not even putting a small creator in this position in the first place is the best plan of action if you're a big creator. With multiple videos of your content showing up on someone's channel, they'll have no reason to watch your content. Mostly if said big creator reacts to other content with similar styles of videos. And in the end, you'll become obsolete. Anyways, I'm going to end the video here. I've given my opinion and I've done my part, as small as it may be. I hope you enjoyed the video. I spent a lot longer writing the script than I thought, and I'm going to spend a lot more time editing this video because I've made a little bit of mistakes. There's going to be a lot of bloopers, that's for sure. Again, thanks for watching.